So I came home today, and Clara, one of my roommates, was like, hey, did you hear about Daft Punk? And I was like, what do you mean? And she told me that, obviously, as you probably know from the title of this video, that Daft Punk has officially broken up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do a workout, collect my thoughts. So I'm still kind of like sweaty and out of breath. But I want to film this video as like a huge tribute to Daft Punk, especially, because you're from France and everything. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on it with everything?
Just breaking my heart. It's like my favorite band ever. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I was hoping for like a concert, a last concert at least.
Yeah, especially with, if you remember like the Super Bowl and everything that happened with The Weeknd, there was like a lot of rumors, especially because The Weeknd worked a lot with Daft Punk, that Daft Punk might potentially perform. Obviously, they didn't. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's crazy because I know for you, like the first song, I think for me, like the first song I heard was like One More Time, I think.
Well, I guess me too. I was young, but I still remember.
Yeah. It's just crazy because I feel like for a lot of people, like, it's just a crazy thing because I think for a lot of people, at least in my generation, one of the first songs was Sandstorm by Darude, classic, of course. Mm-hmm. And then I think for, like, the newer generation of EDM, because Sandstorm was kind of like it's in its own category. And then I think after that, then you had, like, the Skrillex remix of Cinema by Benny Benassi, around the same time as Ghost and Stuff by deadmau5. I feel like for a lot of people, that was kind of like the first song that really brought EDM like on the radio, actually. But if you look throughout that entire timeline of Sandstorm to Skrillex and deadmau5, and then all these other artists that kind of blew up, like Wolfgang Gartner and other ones, I feel like Daft Punk was always like threw in that little niches, or kind of created their own niche of electronic music for 28 years, which is crazy. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a crazy thing because I feel like for a lot of like people, especially like listeners like you and for me, like, producing electronic music, they were like such big inspirations. But like we watched the video, of course. They released a video in case you haven't seen it, which I actually do appreciate because I feel like it's kind of, I hate it when there's rumors that artists broke up, but you don't exactly know. So it's cool that with Daft Punk, they released an official video thanking the fans, and everything.
Yeah, took the time to do it.
But I don't know, the one big thing I have on my mind, just to see what you think, especially, being from France and, French music has had such a big influence on electronic music, like Daft Punk, Justice, so on and so forth, that I wonder, and this is what I'm kind of curious about, and almost even more excited looking at this in an optimistic way, do you think that either member of Daft Punk or both will create their own artist project? Like, do you think either of them would potentially branch off and be like, because that's happened a lot in EDM where like Philosopher kind of broke up and then you had two different artists kind of making their own music. That happened with a bunch of other artists,
Well, I know. You watched the video and stuff.
Yeah.
My thoughts is that it's kind of like a metaphor. So you see one of them is like living.
Yep.
And one of them is just staying and ask him to like unplug him and he just explode, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like one of them, I don't know which one is who.
Yeah.
But I think one of them is going to keep doing music and the other one maybe doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't know. It's just my
yeah.
thought.
No, actually, that's like a really interesting point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because one of them does live at the end of the video. Not to spoil the video, but yeah. So I wonder if maybe like there's like some weird play on that where maybe, I don't know actually, because I remember this happened. Rest in peace with Bingo Players. That one of the people from the duo passed away, and the other one kept going as Bingo Players as a single artist, as opposed to the duo of Bingo Players. Right. So I wonder if maybe the living member of Daft Punk, I don't know which one, yeah, I can't remember like which one is which, but like I wonder if they will go on to continue the Daft Punk name, but I don't think so, given the fact they're saying Daft Punk is done. But maybe they will create their own artist project. Obviously, the connections Daft Punk has is insane. You can make an argument that it's the most famous EDM artist of all time.
Yeah.
No,
for sure. It's not the end. It's not completely the end. It just won't be Daft Punk anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Let me know what you think in the comments, because obviously, like, I don't really have a plan for this video. It's more of just like, all right, I'm going to collect my thoughts about them breaking up, doing a workout, and then I grabbed Clara, and I'm like, okay, you have to come film this video with me, because you're from France, obviously, and, like, I feel like France itself has had such a big influence on electronic music throughout the entire planet, again, with Daft Punk and Justice being pioneers. But we'll see what happens. I do appreciate, though, them, like, giving, like, a big shout-out in terms of like the 28-year run that they had, making that video, being like, we're going to make this an official kind of memento for the fans and for everyone. But I don't know, any predictions? What do you think? Because I don't know, I do feel like, because you make a really good point, because I thought that in the beginning, like maybe they might pursue different careers, maybe like create their own solo projects, but that's a really good point you made from the video. Maybe there is some symbolism behind that.
I'm pretty sure there is, because like Daft Punk, if you think about it, they always like, I don't know, like come back kind of like from nowhere and like perform somewhere. There are like a lot of secrets and like surprising their fans.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I think they're gonna do something.
We're going to do a pose for the thumbnail. So I was thinking about doing something like this.
Dude. Whatever, you don't even have to include me. You can
No. So I think just like something like this, like a prayer thing. If you're like,
oh, there's sign. Remember the sign was like
oh
this?
yeah, like
Where
this.
it's like this.
I think
Wait,
yeah.
We need to check because like if
I
we're not
know.
doing a good one, it might be just this.
But I think maybe
we can just do
yeah.
this. Okay.
So pretend like you're posing for like a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pose.
Just maybe I'm gonna actually go like this and just like look down. You know what I mean? And then maybe just like, and just maybe do like pretend like you're in shock. So I'm just like,
Okay, so okay. Wait.
yeah.
So bad.
No. I might put this at the end in case you. I'm actually definitely gonna put this as an outro. In case you're curious, as like a funny YouTube tidbit, any single time I film a video, during the video, I'll do like a still for the thumbnail because it makes it a lot easier.
I really suck at it.
I think she's doing like artwork right now, and I grabbed her. I'm like, you gotta be in the video, like. Oh man.
Oh, that was fun.
All right.